Oh, man.
Damn, the Destiny community's really going through it right now, eh? I mean, rightfully so. This game has grown with all the people still playing it. Many were still children when they got into it. Destiny has been around for like half their life or more. It's totally understandable. As someone who's with this franchise for over a decade, I totally understand your pain and frustration. I recently went through the 5 stages of grief with D2, but I just happened to do it a little earlier than a lot of you guys. And I was lucky in that I got to do it on my own terms. So let's talk about it. Since the announcement on May 21st that June 9th would be the last update ever to Destiny 2, I've read many articles, watched many videos, and read a ton of tweets about people's feelings on it. You can see them going through the stages of grief in real time. It was actually Frostbolt's video on the topic that inspired me to make this one. His video was pure and raw and authentic. He was totally honest with what an impact the game had on his life and how sad he is about the game essentially being dead now. You will still be able to play Destiny 2, but after June 9th, it won't be receiving any more updates, so it's certainly the end of a long era. So what are the 5 stages of grief? The first stage is denial, avoidance, confusion, shock, elation, fear. For many people, this was the obvious first stage. While someone like me had come to terms with the fact that D2's best days were behind it, many still held out hope for another Forsaken level bounce back, a backs against the wall miracle where Bungie pulls out a Hail Mary, as they have a track record of doing. Hell, I would argue Into the Light through Final Shape was another one of those moments, and that was just in 2024, so to have that belief is not too surprising. They cooked with the Final Shape, but sadly, we didn't know how final that was truly going to be. So many people were just straight up shocked at the news. Again, understandable if you really did believe that they were going to pull it off again. You saw a lot of those takes on Twitter on Thursday. After only one day, you could see the next stage. Anger, frustration, irritation, anxiety. You can feel and hear the anxiety from people like My Name is Bife and Datto in their videos. And how couldn't they be? This game has been these people's near entire working lives. They even say as much. They were right around that college age, ready to figure out what's next, and they took a chance on Destiny and made a career out of it. In 2023, I left a job I had been at since I was 20. I worked there for 12 years, and then I left to pursue content creation, and I'm so glad I did. Being able to cover Into the Light through the Final Shape as a full-time content creator was one of the greatest privileges I could ever imagine. I made daily videos for like 6 months straight in 2024. It was incredible. I loved building my community, I loved making videos, and I enjoyed becoming a bigger pillar in the broader community, a community that I have so much respect for. On that note, I have always just wanted to help the community of Destiny. I felt that I had a knack for making powerful yet not totally meta builds. I always wanted to get the most out of an exotic, to make it shine as bright as it can. In that same vein, when I turned heel, so to speak, and started calling out Bungie, I want you to know that that came from a desire to look out for the community. I felt abused and taken advantage of by Bungie, so I wanted to use my voice to fight back and stand up for the people that couldn't. To fight for a better Destiny, because I know this community deserves it. Sure, some saw me as a villain, but I do want you to know that my heart was in the right place. It is the same reason I'm making this video, to try and assure you that things will be okay. I've played countless amazing games since leaving D2, and while none have sunk its hooks into me quite like Destiny did, they are great experiences in their own right. Give new games and new communities a chance. I was blessed to have some diehard Hollow Knight lovers in my chat while I played through Hollow Knight and Silksong, and now I've been blessed to meet cool people in my chat through my Souls journey. Yes, the friends you make in Destiny are special. I know numerous people who have met their wives through this game. The way it brought people together is second to none. Datto, Frost, Sweatsicle, they all talk about how most of their friends are all because of this game. It's truly special and unique, I want to be clear about that. But it also isn't the only game that can provide this, and it is not the only game that has a wonderful and passionate community. There are still many others out there. I still keep in touch with my Destiny homies, just like I keep in touch with my old work homies from the job I left. I have my stag party next month, and most of the guys coming I either met in college or from working in the field that I studied in college. So given Destiny was around for many people's formative years, it makes sense that that is your common ground, but you can still stay close and experience new games together. Anyways, back to anger. You see a lot of people being pissed at Bungie and Sony for fumbling Destiny 2 and not making Destiny 3. Again, fair play. You want the gravy train to keep going. You don't want to let go. And there is absolute justification for being angry. I hate how Pete and the C-suite destroyed this game for their own financial gain. It is disgusting, and I despise all people whose main focus is nothing but money. They're honestly just fucked in the head. There's so much more to life than money. But they wanted to walk away with a bag and leave destruction in their wake, so here's where we ended up. They get rewarded with a golden parachute for running a studio that made a game that they didn't give a single shit about. They just wanted to get paid. And now there is a devastated community and a fractured studio trying to pick up the pieces and figure out what's next. I loved Destiny, but by the end, I hated Bungie because I could see what was happening. I brought it to light and I got flamed for it, but people just didn't want to hear it, and I understand why. It is a tough pill to swallow. But now that we are here, the community has every right to be angry. Sit with that anger as long as you need. Lord knows I did. Just look at my videos from March to July of last year. Next, you have bargaining. Overwhelmed, helplessness, hostility, flight. Some people are here already. Please just make a Destiny 3 and everything will be okay. Please just one more year. You gotta at least wrap up the Fate saga. One more expansion, one more day one raid. The thing with one more is it's never enough. I worked with countless guys who stuck around my old job for years after they said they would retire. Oh, next year I'll be ready. The truth is, you're never ready. You just have to take that leap and then have the gumption to keep pushing. I did it in August 2023 to pursue content creation. I wasn't making enough money to live off from YouTube, but luckily I had savings, so it was worth taking the chance. If I failed, so be it, but I had to know. And if I hadn't done that, if I said, oh, I'll just wait a little longer, then I'll do it, I never would have got to cover the final shape like I did. And now, Destiny is essentially dead. I would have missed that window. Life is fleeting. Take that trip, ask that girl out, do things outside your comfort zone. I guarantee you'll absolutely regret the things you didn't do more than the things that you did. Destiny is a home for a lot of people. I see it all the time in my comments. No game feels like Destiny. Yes, that's true, I won't deny it, but there are many games out there that feel just as cool and unique. Again, Hollow Knight for example, I cherish those games. They are wonderful. Broaden your horizons, try new games, and you may find something else out there that you love close to as much as Destiny. For me, that has become roguelites. God, I love them. I have over 300 hours in Mugenics, over 100 hours in Hades 1 and 2. I've loved playing new games. So stop bargaining. A D3 isn't going to bring the Destiny magic back, I promise you. Next is depression, struggling to find meaning, reaching out to others, telling one's story. This one is tough. It's hard as fuck to lose something you love. We've all had a tough breakup or lost a cherished family member. As I said, Destiny was home for a lot of people, a game that gave people meaning and a sense of community, and that is essentially gone now. It's not technically, the game will still be playable, just like D1 is, but it is not going to be the same feeling. There's no new thing to look forward to or grind toward. You'll have to make your own fun. Some of you may stick with it and do that. My advice for depression is just get back to being you outside of Destiny. Whatever else it is that you like to do, double down on that. During COVID, I lost most everything I loved. I loved working out, socializing, and traveling. 2020 is when I really got back into gaming, but I lost a ton of other things. I had a girlfriend through COVID and we broke up in spring of 2022. I was 40 pounds overweight and I got back to the old me. I worked out every day. I booked a trip to Switzerland to visit my sister and the friends that I've made over there. I made plans for the summer of 2022, one of which was a country jamboree where I met my now fiance. I put Destiny on the back burner. It was Season of the Deep and it was the least I ever played. I had to just get back to being a human again. In 2021 and early 2022, all I was doing was working and then making YouTube videos. I had worn myself down. So whatever your other interests are, dive headfirst into those. Do other things that you love. Sure, Destiny isn't there to be a support system anymore, so lean on the things that are. For me, that was my friends and family in the gym. The sooner you do it, the sooner it will help you overcome the grief. Honestly, by all means, be sad for a little bit. It's natural. But as soon as you start actively trying to be happy again, you will find the skies actually part quite quickly, and the next thing you know, you won't even be thinking about Destiny anymore or how sad you are that it's gone. As for the gaming side of things, after Destiny, I was sort of lost on what to play next because I hadn't really played much else in over 5 years. So I just went to my PlayStation library, saw I had Sekiro from back in the day, played that, and loved it. Then I just played other games that I'd heard about over the years. I just kept busy. Depression only gets worse if you stay isolated and keep missing what was. The trick is to find the new thing that you're interested in and let that be your focus for a while. Next thing you know, you won't even be thinking about the thing you were missing. And I know it's a meme that I'm a jealous ex and all that, but I don't miss Destiny 2. So much of my content after I stopped playing was directed at Bungie, and rightfully so. And those are honestly two separate things. I loved, keyword loved, Destiny 2, but Bungie is a shit company and they deserve what's coming. But as far as missing D2, I don't. Right now, all I want to do is just play Mugenics. I'm obsessed with that game, and it's so fun having a game that you just want to play over and over. And if you're honest with yourself, a lot of you aren't even having actual fun in Destiny 2 anymore. You're on the treadmill or trying to recapture that feeling that you used to have. But the better thing is to try and find a new game that gives you that old feeling again. And now you kind of have no choice. Now for the final bit, acceptance. Exploring options, new plans, moving on. For me, that was July of last year. When Edge of Fate came out, I didn't buy Edge of Fate, but I still wanted to make my Liar's Handshake video. But after playing with the new systems, it was the final nail. I was like, yeah, this isn't the same Destiny that I fell in love with. Like seeing an old friend who went down a different path. You see them, you can reminisce on the old times, but ultimately you understand why you guys grew apart. It's no one's fault, it's just how life works. That was D2 for me with Edge of Fate. I used to love it, but this was not the same game that I fell in love with. I was free to move on. Playing it didn't make me want to come back. If anything, it reaffirmed that moving on was the right decision. So much so that even with this June update, I don't know if I'll even play it, but I honestly don't even really want to. The feeling isn't the same. Yesterday, I watched a bunch of creators' videos while I watched esoteric solo runs. I didn't even recognize the game anymore, even though I used to do solo GMs. It's so ability spammy, there's so much power creep, I don't want to learn those systems or regrind the guns that now have tiers just to participate in Pantheon. I will just let my happy memories live on. Plus, I'm starting Elden Ring in June, so I'll be busy with that anyways. Come watch me play on Twitch at ItSizzle7, I'll be streaming my whole playthrough all summer. But yeah, acceptance is nice, it's peaceful. Like I said, people project onto me and they think they know me, but that was my honest timeline with the game. I fell out of love with it just after Heresy dropped, the care just wasn't there anymore. The bugs had ruined the game for me. Years of mismanagement and abuse culminated in my deteriorating enjoyment. And when I didn't enjoy it anymore, it was time to move on. My channel wasn't big enough anyways where it made that much of a difference for me financially. And I've always been one to follow my heart, and it's yet to lead me astray. So take your time with it. For me, it was March to July of last year. So like 4 months. It won't always be easy, but the future holds many more good times and new experiences. It'll feel weird at first, definitely, it did for me too, but I promise it'll all be okay. Take care.